Have you ever found yourself wondering, how many times have I prayed? How many affirmations have I repeated? And yet nothing seems to change. If so, you're not alone. Many of us, even with the purest intentions, find ourselves lost in the maze of prayer, where words feel powerless and faith begins to fade. But the truth is, this prayer isn't some distant miracle from a faraway realm. It is the most powerful creative energy you possess, but only when it flows from the deepest part of your soul with clarity and conviction. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "Your word is your wand charged with power and miracles." So why does that wand seem to fail us? Let me share a little-known secret. Not all prayers are heard, not because God is silent, but because our minds are too loud. We ask for one thing, but doubt it will ever come. We speak affirmations, but whisper fear behind them. We call in the good, but complain about the lack. You see, prayer is not just language, it is vibration. And the law of vibration never misses. You cannot attract what is good if you keep sending out frequencies of worry, fear, or resentment. Like a radio station, you can only receive the song that matches your tuning. So today we'll shine a light on a simple truth that's often forgotten. Prayers don't fail because you lack faith. They fail because most people were never taught how to pray correctly, how to believe fully, and how to speak powerfully. We'll uncover 5 common reasons why prayers feel powerless, no matter how sincere you are. Each reason will be revealed through the lens of Florence, a woman who awakened millions of souls with the simplicity, elegance, and divine power of words. But before we begin, I invite you to pause, take a deep breath, and ask your heart this quiet question. Have I truly believed that what I ask for can come to me? If your answer is uncertain, then this message is your doorway back to a force you may have forgotten. The power of faith and the sacred energy of your word. Keep watching. Because just one shift in how you pray can open a completely new current in your life. Let's be honest for a moment. When you pray, do you truly believe that what you ask for will come to pass clearly, certainly, and without a shadow of doubt? Or are you simply repeating familiar phrases out of habit, a form of comfort while your heart remains clouded with worry and disbelief? Florence Scovel Shinn once wrote, "Faith without fear spoken aloud is what brings the miracle." Yet most of us are only speaking without really believing in the power of what we say. It's like holding a magic wand in your hand, but doubting it can create anything at all. How could a miracle arrive through that? The human mind is a delicate gate. It only opens fully to those who enter with complete trust. If you pray while your heart trembles, wondering deep down if you're truly worthy to receive what you ask for, you've already disarmed your prayer the moment it leaves your lips. This isn't a criticism, it's a wake-up call. Because Florence had met hundreds of souls just like you. People who did everything right. They spoke affirmations daily. They joined prayer circles. They whispered hopes before bed. And yet, nothing in their lives seemed to change. Why? Because their hearts were never in full agreement with their words. You can't broadcast 2 frequencies at the same time. If your mouth is sending out the signal of faith, but your heart is broadcasting fear, the universe won't know which one to follow. And the result? Silence. Florence once told the story of a woman with only $2 in her pocket. And yet she declared with full conviction, "I see my purse filled with money." She believed so deeply she gave away half of what she had as a sacred proof of her faith. And the miracle came. $6,000 flowed into her life through unimaginable means. It was never about the money. It was always about the quality of belief. It's about being willing to walk forward in the dark, not because you see the light, but because you know it's there. If you pray and still find yourself wondering, will this really happen for me? You're still operating from the energy of asking, not the power of creating. Asking carries the vibration of lack. But creating, That is the essence of your soul, connected to the divine, already knowing that what you speak is being formed in the unseen. So what can you do to turn your prayer into power? Start here. Sit with your own mind. What's really there? Faith or fear? Peace or anxiety? You don't have to force fear out. Just look at it and choose not to let it lead you anymore. Choose again. Choose to believe in the good, even when your eyes don't see it. Let your soul say yes. Whisper to yourself, I know the good is coming and I am ready to receive it. You can begin with a simple, powerful affirmation. I believe in what I do not yet see, and I see what I have believed. Say it every morning in stillness. No effort. Just feel the truth of those words slowly awakening within you. And don't walk this path alone. Share what you're moving through. Declare the faith you're choosing to grow. Leave a comment under this video. I'm learning to trust fully. I'm ready for my words to become power. We're building a community where prayer is no longer a ritual, but a doorway to miracles. In the next part, we'll explore a more subtle reason why prayers lose their power, the negative mental state you're in while you pray. You may think you're sending out light, but you're unknowingly blending it with shadows. Keep watching, because this next insight may reveal exactly why your words haven't yet reached the universe. Have you ever sat down to pray with a whole list of things you long for, but the moment you finish, you let out a heavy sigh, as if something inside still feels stuck? It's like you spoke the words just to soothe your mind for a while, but deep down you didn't really believe they'd come true. If this sounds familiar, be gentle with yourself. It's deeply human, but also be honest, because that may be the very reason your prayers have yet to bear fruit. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "Words carry power, but only when they're infused with the right energy. A prayer has no strength when it comes from a trembling heart or a mind clouded by fear." A negative mindset is like fog that blocks the light of miracles. You can think of it like sending a radio signal. You may be playing a beautiful song, but if the signal is filled with static noise and distortion, the message won't get through clearly. The universe works the same way. You can't say I want to be healed while secretly thinking, but I'll probably always be sick. Sadly, most of us don't realize the frequency we're broadcasting. We say I pray for financial stability, but then spend hours telling friends about unpaid bills and looming uncertainty. We pray for love, but then dwell in feelings of unworthiness, haunted by wounds we haven't healed. Florence called this spiritual contradiction, an invisible form of self-sabotage, powerful enough to block the very blessings you're asking for. She wrote, "You cannot walk through the door of prosperity while standing on the steps of complaint." So what happens when you pray in a negative state? It's simple. Your words can't go far. They get blocked by the frequency of your emotions. And soon you're left thinking, I prayed, and still nothing changed. Remember, this prayer is not just what you say, it's what you become. It is a harmony between your thoughts, your emotions, and your belief. To make your prayers truly work, you must create an inner space filled with light, gratitude, and alignment. As if opening your heart and saying to the universe, I am ready. A very real way to shift a negative state is to shift your words. Instead of saying, I don't have enough money, say, I am opening to a greater flow of abundance. Instead of, I'm afraid of being alone, say, I am clearing space in my heart for true love to enter. These subtle shifts carry a completely different energy, and that is what the universe hears. Florence once wrote, when your mind changes, your life changes. Not overnight, but little by little, with every emotional shift. Every moment you choose, peace over panic, gratitude over resentment. Your prayer begins to root itself into the fabric of reality. Dear one, if you've ever prayed through tears, through loneliness, through chaos, I see you. Florence sees you. And the beautiful truth is, you can begin again, right now. Pause for a moment, place your hand on your heart, and say to yourself, I choose peace, I choose trust, I choose light. You don't have to be perfect to be heard. You just have to be honest about the energy you're carrying and committed to clearing that space one day at a time. I invite you to share below. Today I choose to shift the frequency of my prayer. Each comment you leave is a declaration, a step out of the fog and into the light. Together we are creating a sacred space where prayer is not just a ritual, but a bridge to miracles. In the next part, you'll discover a truth many forget. Prayer doesn't fail because you're unworthy. It fails because you're speaking the wrong language to the universe. That's why it's time to learn how to craft affirmations the right way, with clear imagery, aligned emotions, and words that awaken the subconscious. Together we'll explore how to speak your desires in a way the universe can't ignore. Imagine placing an online order, but right before you complete the payment, you shut the screen and walk away. The universe works the same way. You send out a prayer hoping for something good, a shift, a miracle, but then turn away quietly thinking, I doubt that's really going to happen for me. And just like that, your spiritual order never gets delivered. Florence Scovel Shinn once wrote, "Faith is not enough. You must become a receiving channel open to accept what you've just created." And it's heartbreaking to know how many people have prayed with full sincerity, only to close the door on what they asked for out of unworthiness or a life too used to disappointment. You see, every prayer isn't just a request. It is a declaration of your soul's divine creative power. It is not the pleading of someone weak. It is the remembrance of someone sacred, reconnecting with their original strength. But most of us were taught a very different story. That if you want something, you must ask humbly, and if you don't receive it, maybe you just weren't good enough. It's a very human belief, but it's not a spiritual truth. Because the universe doesn't judge you as worthy or unworthy. It simply responds to the frequency you're putting out. If you pray with the energy of lack of efforting of, I hope I'll get there, then that's the exact reality you reinforce. But if you shift your frequency and begin to say, I am ready to receive, I accept that the good is already mine, I am in the flow of divine receiving, then everything begins to change. In the game of life and how to play it, Florence tells the story of a woman who affirmed, I have a wonderful work in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for wonderful pay. She didn't just say it. She felt it. She saw it. She knew it had already happened in the invisible realm. And before long the opportunity came, not through struggle, but through synchronicity. So instead of asking, why haven't my prayers worked? Ask this, have I truly been open to receive? So many speak what they want, but live as if it could never come. They ask for love, but close their hearts in fear of getting hurt. They pray for abundance, but live haunted by the echoes of past failures. They say they want something new, but cling to old beliefs, old patterns, old fears. You can't fill a new glass if it's still full of yesterday's water, and you can't receive from the universe if your mind is already rehearsing ways to reject the gift. So right now I invite you to say a simple, powerful affirmation. I release and I receive. Say it slowly. Feel each word pouring light into your heart. And then, if you feel called, share it in the comments below. I am opening to receive. I choose to trust in the good. It's more than a comment. It's a signal to the universe that you've tuned in, that you've completed the final step of your miracle order. In the next part, we'll explore something just as subtle: the structure of your words in prayer. Are you using activating language, or are you accidentally embedding resistance in every sentence? Florence will guide us through how to speak correctly, to name your desires in the true language of your soul. Have you ever whispered affirmations like, I am healthy, I am abundant, I am worthy of love, only to feel like the words didn't really land? They felt distant, flat, maybe even hollow. If so, you're not alone. Because repeating affirmations without understanding the art of how they're built is like reciting a spell, but forgetting the key to the magic. Florence Scovel Shinn often reminded us, words are living pictures. They are commands to the subconscious codes that instruct the universe. So a powerful affirmation isn't just positive, it must be precise, intentional, and energetically charged. A true affirmation stirs, emotion awakens belief, paints a vivid image in your mind, and sends a clear signal that says, "This is happening." For example, instead of saying, "I want money," say, "I live in a flow of unlimited prosperity." Money comes to me easily and consistently from unexpected sources under grace and in perfect ways. Feel the difference. The first is a wish. The second is a declaration of identity spoken from someone who recognizes themselves as the rightful heir to divine good. The power lies in the structure and feeling behind the words. Here are 3 keys Florence always emphasized. Use the present tense. Because the subconscious doesn't understand someday, it responds to what is spoken as already true. Avoid negatives like "don't, won't," or "not yet." Instead of "I'm no longer poor," say "I now live in fullness, abundance, and gratitude." Create vivid imagery. Every sentence should be a picture. Paint with your words the clearer, the more alive, the more magnetic. Florence once affirmed, "The walls of lack and delay are crumbling, and I enter my promised land under grace and in perfect ways." It's not just beautiful, it transmits a specific energetic state that the subconscious can recognize and follow. And here's the piece most people skip: the emotion behind your words. You cannot just recite affirmations like a script. You must breathe them in, visualize them unfolding, and feel the vibration of every phrase. Because without emotion, words are just empty shells. So today, I invite you to choose an affirmation. Write it in the comments below this video, and let it become your soul's declaration for this moment. You can begin with something like, "I am the creator of my reality through the power of my words. I choose to speak words that create miracles." Share your affirmation with us. Let our community amplify it, support it, and reflect it back with even more power. In the next part, we'll explore a subtle yet deeply rooted block that keeps many people stuck, even after all the praying, all the affirming, all the hoping, the silent presence of lack-thinking resentment and envy in the mind. You may be asking for the good, but these old energies could be quietly shutting the door. Florence will help us peel back those layers so you can finally step into true spiritual freedom. Have you ever prayed for something with all your heart, only to feel a sting of pain when someone else received exactly what you were hoping for? Someone lands their dream job. Another finds the love you've been asking for. Someone just bought the house you've longed for. And meanwhile, you're doing all the right things, saying affirmations, praying sincerely. Yet nothing seems to come your way. Florence Scovel Shinn once wrote a simple, powerful truth. You cannot pray for good in your life while being envious of the good in another's. Because the universe doesn't just hear your words. It reads the energy you're sending out. Every bit of jealousy, every ounce of resentment, every hidden thought like they got it. So I must have lost my chance. All of it forms invisible barriers that block your miracle from arriving. Limiting beliefs are like a subtle web. They cling through the habit of comparison, through old hurts you haven't released, through the quiet whisper, "I'm not good enough." If you're praying for healing, but still carrying resentment towards someone who hurt you, you're binding yourself. If you're praying for abundance, but secretly judging wealthy people as greedy, you're in conflict with your own desires. Florence said, "Forgiveness is the passport to the land of miracles. You don't forgive because someone deserves it. You forgive because you deserve peace. You don't have to approve of their actions, but you can choose to clear the resentment from your heart, so that something new can finally enter." One of Florence's most powerful practices was this: bless the good you see in others. When you see someone receiving what you long for, say, "Thank you, universe, for showing me living proof. If it came to them, it can come to me too. I celebrate their good and open my heart to receive mine." This is not a moral lesson, it's a powerful energetic strategy. When you bless someone else's light, you move from being a beggar to a beacon. And be mindful of the unconscious complaints that slip out. I'll never get out of debt. I'm just not as lucky as others. Life is unfair. Every one of those statements is a seed, and the harvest they bring will mirror what you planted. Instead, choose better seeds. I am healing more each day. I am supported by unseen loving forces. I allow the good to come to me because I am ready. Dear one, if your heart still carries envy, resentment, insecurity, or resistance, please don't feel guilty. We've all been there. But the turning point is this. Will you continue carrying it, or will you release it so your prayer can finally take flight? I invite you to share in the comments below. Today I release envy and open my heart to my own reward. Every word you write is an act of liberation. Together, we're creating a community built not on comparison, but on grace, love, and mutual upliftment. In the final part, I'll help you reflect on this journey, from unconscious mistakes to conscious awakening. And I'll give you a simple, powerful prayer code, a spiritual formula inspired by Florence Scovel Shinn, that you can use daily as a ritual to nourish your soul and align with miracles. Dear soul, if you've stayed with me until now, I believe your spirit is truly yearning to awaken its original power. You are not merely someone asking for blessings. You are a divine co-creator, born to declare, receive, and manifest the highest good that this universe has to offer. Together, we've uncovered 5 core reasons why prayers often seem to fall flat. From a lack of deep faith, negative mental states closed off receiving poorly structured affirmations, to silent blocks like resentment, envy, and limiting beliefs. Not to shame ourselves, but to see clearly. And from that clarity, to choose a brighter path forward. Florence once wrote, "When you speak a word with full faith, it comes to pass because you and your word are one." That is not just a reminder, it's an awakening. We can no longer live a life of scattered pleading when inside us is a vast ocean of light waiting to be activated. So today I offer you a prayer code, simple, sacred, and powerful. Let it become your daily ritual, your spiritual anchor. I am part of the infinite light. I speak with love and I sow miracles. I pray with gratitude and I open to receive. I am the light and the light is me. You may whisper this to yourself before sleep, at the start of your day, or any time your heart feels shaken. Let each word settle into your spirit, like a soft melody calming the soul and reawakening your trust. And if this message stirred something within you, leave a comment below with one of these simple affirmations. I choose to believe. I am ready to receive. I am the creator through my word. Each line you write is more than a statement. It is a commitment, a ripple of light sent out to empower not only you, but the entire community walking this journey beside you. Don't hesitate to share your reflections, your questions, or even your unanswered prayers, because this is a safe, sacred space. There is no judgment here, only light, love, and support. If this video nourished your spirit, click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you won't miss more wisdom from Florence and soul teachings to help you live more fully each day. And dear heart, remember, you never pray alone. You are never forgotten. And the best things in life are already on their way to you.